Hello all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're watching in. I hope you do enjoy this case study of Euro USD sniper entry, as you can see here with our nice image. Okay, very clean sniper entry. So what we're going to do is break down exactly how we found this, why we was looking at this trade in the first place, and where we was planning to take it to, and what it's doing right now. Okay, so this trade was actually called out in September the 14th. Okay, so yeah, as you can see here in our Discord, was talking about it. I posted this up, and where's the chart here? Okay, so again, when this was posted, again, you can see September the 14th, and we're still looking at these two areas for potential entry. Okay, so as we break this down, you start to understand why I was looking at the area, why I was looking for this internal loss to be taken, and how we've kind of played out so far. Okay, so let's actually break this down. But actually, before we break it down, as always, I always look at the quarterly chart, intermediate charts, and actually just see the whole holistic view in regards to everything. Okay, so as we know, big banks, companies, whatever it is, these guys work by quarters. Okay, so on the chart, again, you can see I've got the 3-month chart here. I like to look at this just to understand what's going on overall, because again, as we know, the big players don't play for the day. They don't care about the 1 hour, 4 hour, okay, sometimes the daily. They don't really care about those charts because that's like small time frames to them. They're playing on bigger time frames. They understand what they're looking for over the months and years. And the quicker you start to understand this, the quicker you start to understand the directional bias of where you should be taking your trades to long term, because this is what we're in this game for. Okay, I know a lot of you literally get scared of holding a trade for 1 hour or 2 hours. Okay, but that's what you call literally a retail trader. That's what everyone is kind of known as. Okay, I'm still a retail trader unless you have a FCA regulated certification to actually trade or controlled function, then we're all retail traders. But the classic retail trader mindset is to trade short term. Okay, so we want to follow the big players. We want to follow the big money. The big money are playing on a bigger time frames. So understanding that, this is why I always start off by looking at the quarterly chart, and then I break it down from there. Once I understand what I want to see going on right now and what could potentially happen in the future, then I start trading. Okay, so again, it's like getting in your car and having no direction. It's like, I don't know where I want to go today. It don't make no sense, does it? So understanding this chart now. So again, we can see this chart from 1993, the year I was actually born. Okay, we can see this. Okay, we made this high, made this low, and broke above this high, which is a breaker structure. And then we break here, start coming down. Since we broke that high, I always ask myself, where did it start from? It started from this area over here and a specific candle that we all know specifically. Okay, so I start asking myself, where did it start from? Which we see in this region. So for the students that are on a mentorship, you know exactly what candle we're looking for. You know exactly why we're looking for it and why a lot of things in this area are important to us. So we get this trading range from there. Okay, understanding that now, we broke structure. So I need to see now, in the long term, price coming back to where it started from. Okay, it might take years for it to happen, but we know it's going to happen at some point. Okay, so let me just move these. Okay, so I want this at the top, that breaker structure. So we know we've got this breaker structure here. So the main thing now I ask myself is, again, where did it start from? Okay, we could get our fib from this trading range here. Okay, and now I can see where I want my fibs to line up, and surprise, surprise, we all know what premium zone we want. Okay, so again, right now it's touched 71%. We all know the retail, classical retail trading level is 62. And yeah, we know what we want, and we can see how it lines up perfectly. Beautiful. Okay, so I know I want that long term. Okay, but that can literally take years for it to happen, because when did this actually happen? This actually went up in 2002. And then here, 2008, again, we all know what happened in 2008, the last major market crash before COVID. Okay, boom, we get that. Okay, and then we get this COVID crash over here. So I understand there's still some price action to come down into this area. So when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, yeah, I know price needs to come down into here somehow, but we need to figure out exactly how it's going to do it. So as you can see from my arrows, initially, I was thinking price can actually come up into this zone here, then drop into this zone, and then make our run for our nice whole number over there. So that was my initial plan, and kind of still is. So when we drop down into the monthly now, okay, still the same plan, still the same entry, still the same execution and target directional bias. So we start to see how this is playing out now. So we know we want to come down into here long term. Okay, but before we do that, we understand there's breaker structures over here also. Okay, we've taken out all these lows. Okay, there's all liquidity here, liquidity here, liquidity here. So this is now a whole liquidity wipe. Okay, it's done. So this is that liquidity wipe and breaker structure. So now I ask myself again, where did it start from? And we all know where it started from. Again, if you get our fib from that high to this low, and we know we want to pull back into that region right there before we head down perfectly into our -27, which is the region that we want to then potentially buy back up. So I know now a breaker structure is done, which tends to trigger a pullback. So I want that pullback. So once it starts accumulating here, okay, so we get that accumulation. Okay, we get this equal lows taken out. Okay, we see that liquidity wipe again. Okay, liquidity wipe there, spring, and then we boom, we break above. Okay, so again, I always have this on hand. If you want to understand this better, you could go to this website, do your magic, learn and read for yourself. Okay, so boom. I always say to my clients and students, all of this is nice and pretty, but who cares? This is what makes you money. Okay, ST and phase B spring test, that's what makes you money. Once you understand that, boom, we make that move. So again, boom, ST and phase B spring the test. And guess where the test happened? And guess what date it happened? As you guessed, the COVID crash. Okay, boom, 2 years in the making, crashed. Taps right into the specific candle that we like. So from there, we know we're now in our accumulation phase. We now know we do want price to come up into this area before we head down again. So when we're seeing that, what else do we see now? Okay, we see the breaker structure over here. Okay, we get another breaker structure. Again, understanding market structure is so key. Okay, understanding market structure is so key to trading. If you're like been trading for any amount of time, focus on your market structure, that will save you a whole lot of trouble. Okay, so boom, we broke structure there. So again, every time you break structure, what do we expect? A pullback. We get that pullback. What do we want next? We want that next move. As we got the fib from this low to this high, again, you see where our fib levels line up, and we already know why we're looking specifically in this area. Okay, you can see my whole numbers, quarter numbers that I'm looking at. So boom, we get that move. So since we had that COVID crash, why did I know price would make a move into there? Again, we already know there's a lot of liquidity that got sacrificed to make this move happen, and they want that money back. So they shift up into this area, and then now we're just in this phase here, which we'll get to. Okay, initially, when it was in this area, I wanted it to break above here. Okay, I wanted that liquidity to get taken because now that signals that we are definitely breaking above, and we'll potentially get a pullback that we're getting now. And then that gives me more confidence to say, yeah, for sure, we are going to make that move right there. Okay, so we'll break down the time frame again, and you start to get a clearer picture of what's going on. Go to the weekly. Okay, so we had all that accumulation, the test, boom, cool. We knew ultimately we needed to get back into this demand, this supply zone over here, which we did, and then we started distributing down. So we drop into the daily. Okay, on the daily, we start seeing, again, more distribution, okay, in and around the areas of that weekly and monthly level we were looking at. So you can see I've put distribution schematic number 2, because we can see the shape of this, we can see exactly how it looks like and what it's doing. Okay, so yeah, we'll get to exactly how we entered this. But again, once you're looking at this, okay, you want to see this distribution number 1, which usually has the upthrust after distribution. Okay, and then there's distribution 2, which doesn't have the upthrust after distribution. We just have the upthrust in phase B, and then we have the low points of supports before we start heading down. So we see the difference with those. So again, here we just had that upthrust, and then we had the low points of support, and then we started distributing down. So since we was here, okay, since we was here in May, this is when we started selling even more. Okay, this is when the actual sale started for me. Okay, we started selling from here. Okay, and then where was the target? Again, you can see I've got this 14,200 level. Again, for the students in our mentorship, they know why these numbers are so important. Okay, they know why these numbers are so important and what they always tend to line up with. And it's been how long now? Okay, since May, we've been looking at this target. This is why I don't really trade Eurusd, because it's annoying as hell. It's so slow. It's so slow. I actually hate it. Okay, but if there's a good setup, I will take it. But I actually hate trading this pair. Okay, because you can see since May, what's the trading range? It's been 850 pips. 850 pips. We trade US30. That does it in about 2 minutes. Okay, let me not exaggerate. Okay, 2 hours. In 2 hours, you could easily get 600 to 800 points on US30. Okay, this is taken since May and June. Wow. Okay, it's been a it's been an interesting ride. Okay, but we finally do what we need to do. Okay, we take out liquidity here, take out liquidity here. Okay, let's just change that. Boom, take out liquidity there, and now we're heading towards this IPA here, and we're heading towards our magic number. Okay, so we see that long term, we know overall we can actually come down into this area here, this demand zone. Okay, let me just switch back into the weekly. Okay, we know we can actually come back down into this demand zone, which I didn't want to happen at first, but if it does happen, we're still good. We could still head up with our initial plan. Okay, we've got a big IPA over here. Okay, very, very big IPA over here. Okay, again, around a very nice number. So we know that that zone in there becomes a target before we could potentially look for potential buyers over here again. So we get this distribution schematic number 2 heading into phase 1. Phase 2 will be down here, phase 3 should be down here, and then hopefully we can start rallying up. We'll look at the fundamentals, we'll look at our technicals, we'll look at open interest and the rest, and then we'll make our decision to see if it makes sense buying or do we hold ourselves. Okay, so I showed you what it looks like on the weekly and the daily. Okay, let's now switch into the 4-hour. Okay, so we want to get better context of what's actually happening here. We want to get the clear picture. We want to see what the hell is going on. So since we create these equal highs in here, okay, the market structure from there would be bearish. Okay, the market structure would be bearish from there, as we was already selling from higher, but here we was hoping we would potentially push into this IPA zone here and then head down, but we didn't get that. So we have to flow with the market structure. Okay, so we get this move, taps, goes down, creates equal highs again, and then this is where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens. So as you can see what our risk to reward was, okay, this is where the magic actually happened. So slower, but we'll get to that. So there's 2 potential entries for this. Okay, 2 potential entries for this that I will show you in a sec. So with this, we get this equal highs in here. We get a clean breaker structure. Okay, boom, heads into our IPA area. It does not touch our point of interest. Once that happens, that triggers me. Okay, I know it doesn't touch for a specific reason, because they wouldn't come this close and not take their money back for no reason. And then what do? We just simply fill this IPA in here, and then we head back up. So now this is where the magic happens. And I'll go into replay mode. Okay, we'll go into replay mode here. Okay, so when I'm looking at this now, I know we've broken structure. So my first thoughts is this candle now becomes a threat to us. Okay, if we want to push up, this candle becomes that objective that's going to stop us. So I look at this candle and say, what's the likelihood that you could potentially stop us from shifting up? Measure it out. I say, what's the overall risk? 18 pips is Eurusd. So very low stop, 18 pips. I'm looking at that thinking, okay, what level does it line up with the fibs? Okay, if we are going to sell, where would I like to sell from? Okay, 71%, 79%, 89%. So I say, okay, cool. I'd rather sell from 89%. Best discount level we could potentially get. So half it again, 2 hour. It looks about the same. Now we've got this candle here. And now I'm thinking, oh, what if it just reacts from here and drops? Okay, but overall, I definitely would like a higher entry. Okay, so I start looking at this. And then from here now, as we usually do, we like to look at smaller time frames just to see any forms or signs of distribution before we get in. But the volume of this candle, we do not like that. Okay, we do not like that. We now need to see this candle engulf it entirely if we're even going to consider that. So what happens? Okay, and let's just take it back because that happened way too quick. Okay, for the first hour, we failed to engulf it. Second hour, we kind of do. Okay, third hour, we drop all the way down. So now I'm thinking, damn, have I missed the trade? Okay, have I missed the trade? The London session, literally London session, I'm thinking, have I missed the trade? But I don't panic. Again, I know what I like. I know what I want to enter. Okay, and again, it's like you wanting to go to a shop to buy whatever item that you please, and you've only got £100, $100. You say to the person, I want to buy this for $100 and I've only got $100 and that's all I'm going to give you. The person says no, you buy it for $150. You say, I've only got $100, £100. I can only do it for that price. So the person says, all right, cool, no problem. If you can't buy it, no problem, I'm going to find someone else. And then you say, no problem, thanks. You keep it stepping. You say, unless you're willing to sell this to me for £100, that's the only place I'm going to take it, which is the way I see my trading. I say the only way I'm going to sell this is if I get the highest potential price possible, which is why this green here was highlighted initially. Okay. And then I say, cool, I want that trade or the item for £100. And that's the only place I'm going to take it. So they start looking for new customers. Okay. They're looking for new customers. I say, cool, no problem. I'm just going to wait here until someone's willing to sell it to me for 100. And then we make this move. So guess what? I've got my £100 price, $100, whatever you want to go by. That's the price I want. When did this happen? The New York session. So let's break this further down. Okay, so we went from having an 18 pip stop on what time frame is it? The 2 hour and a 4 hour. Okay, to now potentially in here, I say, cool, I'll rather this candle here lands up 89%, and then our risk altogether could be 8 to 9 pips. Okay, and then we say, cool, can we be greedier? Yeah, we can. Okay, let's be greedy of our entries. Let's be very aggressive with our entries. So I go to half an hour, it looks about the same. I go to the 15-minute, and then I see this little candle here. Okay, which is why you can see 15-minute. So I say, cool, if I'm playing this now, what's my stop? Okay, 2 pips. That's all I need. 2 pips. Seriously. That's seriously all I need. I'm like, okay, cool. That's literally all I need. So let's go back into the 1 hour. Okay, again, how do I do this? Okay, usually I don't explain every single thing on YouTube because I'm not here to teach everyone for free. Okay, we're just literally doing little case studies, but how do I usually do this? Okay, so let's just say we did find, sorry, it's on a 15-minute, right? Okay, let's go back to the 15-minute. Find where we was, losing where I was now. Okay, here. So I know now that's a potential entry. So I just highlight that zone. I'm just saying, cool. And that's what I like. There's a 2 pip stop. Okay, I could now stretch this across coordinates, put random coordinates in here. Okay, or you could simply just do, how do I do it again? Extend right, and it'll do the same thing. But I just in a habit of doing extend coordinates. So let's go back to the 1 hour. Let's just refresh this so I know where I'm at. Okay, so boom. So we know that's that entry now. Okay, we know we're in that zone. Okay, I put this as green because the 89% was there. But on my MT4, and I think you can see from this print screen, okay, we're way high up. Okay, we're way high up in this area here. Okay, you can see time frame we're in H4 initially, but we're selling from here way high up, which is why you see this in here. Okay, this is why you see this in here way high up. So now we've identified that 15-minute candle and the 2 pip stop. Boom, we tap into that. Clean. Okay, very simple trade. Very, very simple trade. Okay, we just tap into that. Okay, and then why else did I leave this green line here? Okay, why else did I leave this green line here? Let's just hit play a couple of times. Okay, and let's drop into the 5-minute. Okay. From here, I'm not sure why that was so far up, but I'll show you on this example. From here, when this kind of goes up, breaks below, this could be your entry here. Okay, it doesn't quite get there, but in that region, because you already know you've tapped into this area here, okay, you might not get a picture perfect clean entry off this wick, but once you're in here, you can say, cool, I'm willing to sell from here. Your stop loss could go above here, 5, 6 pips, wherever it is, and then you're in a trade. Okay, very simple as that, and price starts to go away. Okay, as we see. Very, 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 very precise and clean trade. Okay, I mean, you can't ask for a better trade than that. So now we've got our entry. Okay, now we've got our entry. Let's go H4. Okay, and I'll just show you some risk to reward in regards to that. Initial entry was here. Okay, so now we've got our entry. What are we targeting? Okay, what are we targeting? Okay, and I like to move this a lot just to show examples. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Okay, but we've got that 5-minute entry. Perfect. Okay, 2 pip stop, 4 pip stop, wherever you want to do it. I always like to leave extra room. Okay, so I made it 4 pips, even though all we needed was 2. So we see that. So what am I targeting now? Okay, yes, we can see the IPA down here, but first targets. Okay, when I initially did send this out, let's see, when I initially did send this out, okay, we was already targeting, what's the price here? 17,620. Okay, 17,620. That's what was targeting initially. So let's go back into this. Okay, so you can see here, okay, we was just targeting the IPA below here. Okay, and again, I teach a lot, so I move things around. I was targeting IPA here, as you can see from that print screen. Okay, internal lows needed to be taken out. Okay, we needed to take out an internal low and then come to this candle potentially. So we're targeting here initially only for about 80 pips or so. Okay, only for about 80 pips or so. Okay, so the trade idea was going to be 1 to 19 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Okay, ridiculous even with that 80 pip TP. Okay, so I said to myself, if that does do it, we could potentially do rise up and take out that high, leading into this IPA. But what would that also like? Okay, and this is where we need to go to the bigger time frames. Again, you have to be very comfortable switching through different time frames. So I say to myself, what if we head lower into this? Because remember I said ST in phase B, spring and test is a very likely, I'm trying to think of the right words, okay, without sounding too, yeah, it's one of the best trade ideas you'll see around. Okay, when you get a liquidity white, making ST, when you get that spring, you look for that test. Once you get that test, you look for the big buy leading into this area. So again, at that time, that's what I was looking at. I was thinking, why settle for 80 pips when we could go for 130, 140? So I started looking at that. Okay, I started looking at that, thinking, can we get this move into here and then buy up? Let's hit play and you see what happens. Okay, boom, we're heading down. And guess where we are? ST phase B spring test. So let's go back into this. Okay, ST phase B spring test. And that's what I'm looking for now. I'm looking for that move. Okay, but did it happen? No. Did I enter? No. Why? I didn't see the price action I needed to see. I needed to see forms of accumulation in this region. And we also had this candle here, which I was thinking maybe could be the last resort. Okay, so how does price develop? Okay, boom, we made that move. So from here now, we're now in this region, and I'm thinking this is the last resort of me potentially looking to buy from this area. So now I need to see accumulation. And then guess what happens? We just get this big move, and I'm thinking, damn, did I just miss the move? Okay, I'm not panicking until we break past this highs in here. That's when I start panicking, thinking, damn, did I miss the move? But at this time, we're still holding trades from here. Okay, as you can see, this print screen was taken today. Okay, print screen was taken today with what price, where price currently was, 15,262. Okay, still holding that trade. So I'm just monitoring this, thinking, what's about to happen? Okay, now we're making these highs. I'm thinking, damn. Okay, now we head back down. Okay, I'm thinking, cool. And then, yeah, we just literally chill here for a very long time. And then let me just X this out. This is where we are right now. Okay, we just drop entirely. So what was I looking for down here in the first place? Okay, what was I looking for down here in the first place? Remember when we first started and I was showing you about the distribution and that 14,200 level? Yeah, that's what we're aiming for. So I knew at all times, if we did not play off that spring and that test, for sure, we will complete our distribution. Okay, I was just hoping, because I'm greedy like that, I was just hoping we could potentially fill this IPA first and then head down, okay, because we get more pips out of it. So you can see now, from that trade alone till here, as we speak, okay, what's the risk to reward ratio that we've got here? Okay, you can see here, 78 to 1. 78 to 1 trade. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, we're not done yet though, because what do we want to do? We want to head into a minimum 50% of this IPA, and then also down into this 420 level. Okay, that's what we want to do. Okay, that's what we would love to absolutely do. So very, very interesting trade. Very, very interesting trade. And like I said, I do not trade EURUSD because it takes forever. But if I do sign a setup, if I want to post it out for the team, I will do so. But I hate trading these pairs because they move so slow. Okay, you get to a certain point in your trading career where certain pairs are just not enough for you no more. Okay, it's like you've upgraded your life and you don't like slow moving pairs. Okay, again, it's just classic human nature. You always want the brand new shiny thing. Okay, you're like, you know what, this is too easy now. I want something new. So I don't trade EURUSD often, but if I do find a clean setup, I will take it. And another reason why I was looking to actually take this trade, okay, is because what I believe would happen to DXY. So I think I posted that at that same time here. Okay, so you can see in here, okay, I was expecting the dollar to come down into these areas, make highs, and then go further up at that time. Okay, and yeah, we've all seen what's happened to the dollar right now, and it's shifting up. So as you can see here, if we can get the DXY, should be playing out for sell shortish term to get low to those areas I was talking about yesterday. And when I say yesterday, that's when we had our group session, our live sessions, which you can actually join as well. Just visit the website, link will be down below, and you could join us every Monday and Thursday for our live sessions. Okay, so I was looking for the dollar to go up, so naturally we look for the Euro USD to head down, vice versa. So this is where we are right now. Okay, that was the trade, and that was the case study on it. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Hope you have taken some notes. Hope you do understand why we took that trade and you implement this moving into your trading into the rest of the week, the rest of the month, so on and so forth. But that's it for me. Again, if you do want to join our Discord, the link is down below. You could see our weekly sessions, which are live. These are recorded as well, so you could get, again, always post it up. We're doing it on Zoom. Okay, you get the recordings. So if you ever do miss any sessions, then all the recordings are here for you. Okay. What's this person? The Monday session was very encouraging. You know, a good mentor. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, you can see all the recordings are here if you do miss it, and then we've got the trade ideas all in here. Okay, everyone's posting the ideas. I post mine. We're all helping each other make some money. Okay, very interesting day with goals today. Okay, you've got finished winning trades. Okay, people post their trades that they've actually marked out and won. Okay, and then we've got losing trades because we know we learn the most from our losses. Okay, and that's why I've got this section in here as well, because again, we know we definitely learn the most from our losses. So yeah, very, very encouraging place to be in regards to the trading, because again, we know if you trade by yourself, yes, you can make money, it's all good. But when you trade with a community and everyone's helping each other make money, then it becomes a very, very encouraging place to be. So that's it for me. Great Euro USD trades right there, sniper entry. Okay, very, very clean trade. Not one that I like sitting in because Euro USD moves too slow. But again, very clean trade, very good risk reward ratio. And we just do the same thing on repeat. So until next time, take care. Peace.